So me, 31 male gay, and my fiancé, 32 male bisexual, have been together for 9 years, engaged for 1. We're meant to get married in 2 months. My time with him has been perfect, literally zero complaints. Honestly, I didn't think I'd find someone who got me the way he does. Then the world remembered it hates me and decided to fuck my shit up since I had it too good for too long. Last week my fiancé sat me down and told me he wanted to discuss something with me and to keep an open mind. Sure. He said since we're getting married he wanted to know if I would be okay with him having one night where he could sleep with a woman. My heart broke instantly. My dreams and hopes and plans vanished in an instant, and the marriage I was eager to begin was dead. At the very beginning of our relationship, when he asked to be exclusive, I told him there will never be anyone else in our life. Just us. No one's coming into our bedroom, there will be no cuck fantasies, no Eiffel Towers, nothing. I made it clear if he ever asked me for anything of the sort, the relationship was over immediately, there will be no conversation about it, it's done. He agreed. He said monogamy was the only thing for him and he doesn't want anyone else. Before I keep going, I do want to explain why I am the way I am. I won't give a lot of details, actually almost none, but I'll give enough to understand, hopefully. Between the ages of 8 and 14 I was SA'd a lot by really my only friend at the time. When I was 8 he was 15. Only other kid on the street. My mother was a drug addict and cheated on my father constantly, so she didn't notice anything. My dad was never home. BC wife was awful to be around and a kid who stayed in his room alone all the time, so he wouldn't have seen anything to be concerned about anyway. I tried to tell my mother once, but I couldn't even say it before I was yelled at and told to get out of her room, and I never tried to bring it up again. Fast forward to me being a not stupid child, I put pieces together and found out why my dad was never there to help me, why my mom didn't care enough to question why the horny teen was taking me outside for hours, and when I got home I just wanted to be alone in my room. I put all of my childhood issues on cheating. As a result of my fun little quirky younger years, I am borderline. I have anxiety and panic attacks whenever I hear people screaming, and depression, blah blah blah. I have problems. After being with my fiancé for about a year and a half, I talked to him about my past and why I feel the way I do about things, and he was very understanding. Very comforting. Despite it being my story, I had to wipe his tears away a few times. I know he cares for me, I know he loves me and wants to spend our forever together. Back to present day, I am in a hotel room alone. Everyone I've told this to has said I'm crazy and stupid and need therapy. They don't understand how I can throw it all away over my partner being honest and open with me about something. He didn't actually cheat, he just wants to, lol. He has said he won't do it, he needs me more than any feeling a woman can give him. I am his everything. He's called me twice since I started typing this and messaged me really sweet things, so I'm at a point where I don't know what I'm doing. I look at the future and I see him. My entire adult life I've had the mentality of if they want to cheat they will, so he's asking me now, and if I say no he will eventually do it anyway but won't tell me next time. That is where my decision to leave comes from. He will grow to resent me for denying him this thing he wants. I don't want to be that person 30 years from now finding out my husband has had 50 affairs during our marriage with a bunch of women. When I am with someone, I'm with them. I don't look at other people, I don't entertain advances anyone makes towards me, I don't flirt with anyone else. I'm devoted in every way. People are making me feel crazy for wanting the same energy given back to me. I can't wrap my head around him wanting to kiss someone else, to be an inch away from them and smile and then start fucking. I don't want to think about it, but it's all I'm thinking about. It's been almost 8 days since I left and it's my only thought. I am losing my mind in a shitty hotel room thinking about the guy I love fucking some random woman who doesn't exist. I'm lost-eyed. What to do? I do want to say how amazing he is. He buys me flowers every Friday, he stands up for me when no one else does, he looks for me in every room, he makes me feel like I matter, he makes my grayest days bright and clear, and the smile I used to fake isn't fake anymore. He has never judged me for the things I do, he's never made me feel bad for having off days, he just makes me feel loved. My birthday was last month and he made me a book filled with pictures of us he's taken over the years, with the last page being blank so he can add our wedding picture eventually. Above each picture was what he was thinking when he took it, and below is how he was feeling at the time. Part of being me is I need constant reassurance that he does love me, so I ask him those things a lot. It means everything to me and it's my favorite thing I own. I'm just trying to say he really is great despite this one thing. He said he'll do anything for me to come back. We can push the wedding back and just work on us, or we can call it off completely and just be together. He will never bring it up again and he's deeply sorry he ever wanted to do it, and I believe him. Time changes people though. I just want an unbiased opinion from someone whose life will not change whatsoever by my decision. They tend to be more truthful. I love him, and when I look at pictures of him I hear wedding bells and I see the house he wants to buy with me and the 2 kids he wants to adopt at some point. I don't want THE rehashed. When trust is gone it doesn't come back, or you know the answer. Leave. I do trust him. I don't trust the things I'm telling myself over and over about what may happen in the future. He has never given me reason to not trust him, but I don't know. Tell me the truth, do I? Update 1. Okay, I'd if anyone actually cares about the outcome, but my original plan was to talk to him today. Bring up therapy. Maybe go back to our apartment or just stay for the rest of my hotel reservation. That did not happen. I folded. I got Dunkus Sunday night. He called me about 10:30ish and I told him where I was. BC, he said he wanted to explain in person. Sober me would have said no, say that shit over the phone. Drunk me is a hoe. He came over, he started explaining, but honestly nail me to a cross, I will die for the sins I know every single one of you would commit if you could see his face, we did shit. After that he did explain. His best friend, who's always had issues with me, has been trying to convince him for months if he doesn't sleep with a woman again he will end up cheating on me in the future. He didn't believe at first, but after a few months his friend wore him down. I know he's not lying, he showed me texts going back to February, every so often his friend bringing it up. His friend is always not like me. I don't think he's okay with my fiancé being bi. First time he introduced me to his friends, his best friend was very standoffish, didn't interact with me. At one point someone asked if I was into hiking. I am, and she said best friend's name is also really into it. I said that's cool, do you know any good spots since I just moved here and haven't found any yet? He said no and started talking to someone else. Okay. Sure. Dick. Bunch of other little shit over the years, like always bringing up his ex-GFs in front of me, blah blah, you get the gist. I think he knew I'd leave if my fiancé asked me for this. My fiancé said he doesn't want to do it and he wanted me to say no. Yes, a few of you told me to just say no and he would agree and wouldn't, congratulations, and we'd move on. Wedding still on hold, I have the ring back, it's on a chain around my neck, I want therapy still with him. Too many of you convinced me in private DMs with your personal stories about how helpful it was in your relationships. You wore me down. I also want to know what a paid professional thinks about his best friend BC. Honestly, I'm done with him. I don't want him at my wedding, I won't want to see his face, I don't want him to be my fiancé's best man. Sorry to disappoint, I know a lot of you were calling for his head. I was the same mindset for most of my life until I was put into the shoes I am in now. It's hard. Trying to throw that love out the window and leave is hard. It was also a misunderstanding, so I overreacted anyway. I do want to thank you all. I expected my post would be like many others, get a few replies and that's it. Got a lot more than that and most were helpful. Some were jokes, some were just trying to convert me to be straight, and some were trying to gaslight me. Thank you for the actual advice, and I'm sorry so many people related to my struggles. I expected a few, but I got at least 100 DMs talking about their trauma and how it's affected them in their adult lives and how they think I should move forward. Bittersweet, but I'm glad I wasn't alone in my struggles. For the questions, are you in therapy? Yes, I'm in individual therapy. Have been for years. I'm also on meds. Mood stabilizers, benzos and antidepressants. Therapy only goes so far. I know the post made me sound kinda psychotic, but I also left all my meds at the apartment, so I was on day 8 of clean living and I skipped last therapy appointment. I never claimed to make good decisions. Is there another woman? No. Why would you get with a bi man when this is pretty common? This is not pretty common, emo, and you're biphobic. I don't have any issues with his sexual orientation. If anything, I like he's not completely gay. No, I will not elaborate on why. Why didn't you just talk to him? Because if he said there was woman he was looking at, I would have found the nearest bridge and YOLO'd off it. What kind of friends would say that shit to you? They're his friends, really. When I moved here in my early 20s, I met him quickly. Less than a year when I got here, we went on a date. He introduced me to his friends and his friends became my friends. I would hang out with them without my fiancé and vice versa. In hindsight, I don't think they were being malicious, they've always been nice and welcoming, excluding the one person. They just liked seeing us together and didn't want to see us apart. Almost a decade of seeing a couple and I can understand they'd want to see us last. I don't have any negative feelings towards them. Are you going to bring up moving? Few people asked after I brought up what he would have to do to get me back immediately. I said move. No, I won't bring it up, I think. I do want to, I'd love to be closer to his family since I don't have any and I love being around them. They all live in Seattle and we're in Boston. Don't get to see them much. If I do bring it up, I might wait till this situation clears up completely. Why are you denying who he is? I'm not. He can jerk off to women. Ick. He can't touch em though. How can you throw 9 years out the window over a question? It's the one question I asked him not to bring up. I thought I made that clear in my post. I can overlook a lot of things and I do, but that one thing I can't. I still can't. If he was serious about it, I don't think I'd stay. I'm not gonna let him walk outside, fuck a woman and come back with cookies in my hand and a smile on my face. Did that feel good, baby? Here's a cookie and some milk. BFFR, you may be walked on in your life, that is not me though. Do roleplay in the bedroom, he might just want a feminine aspect. I will not upload a picture of myself, it defeats the purpose of making a trashy account. However, I am 6 feet 4 inches, I weigh 230-ish pounds, I work in a garage, I've spent 15 hours a week in the gym for the last 7 years and I have scars all over my body with a few on my face. My skin is not soft and I look like if I meet you in a dark alley I'll shank you. I'm not feminine. I think he'd laugh if he saw me walk out in lingerie and a wig. I would too, TBH. That's it for now. I might update after a bit of therapy, probably not. I don't think many will care after they read I didn't chastise him. Thank you again for all the actually helpful advice. I didn't expect any of it, but I'm very grateful. Edit, y'all judged the fuck out of me for not demanding he drop his lifelong best friend. We talked last night, I brought up my issues and he said he was leaning towards cutting him off entirely anyway. They're no longer friends. Y'all can stay on your toxic relationships making demands and ultimatums, I will not be doing any of that though. I'm not a doormat. Y'all genuinely sound bitter. I'm not alone like you or I'd argue with the wall. Oop, I don't want to tell him too. It's a thing I used to do with isolating people and I don't want to do that to him. I'm hoping he will just tell me why and do it himself, but I think therapy will make him realize the actual reason. Now next story. Stepmother's secret online account reveals her true feelings towards me and my siblings, exposing her jealousy, hate, and false behavior. My father has been married to my stepmother for 5 years. He has been divorced from my mother since my younger brother was 2 years old. There is no beef between them and they have a great co-parenting. I have a 17-year-old sister, a 16-year-old brother, and I'm 25. Then my father has a 3-year-old son with my stepmother. I found her Reddit account in a pretty random way. Since I'm only home on the weekends, I let her use my computer. She forgot to close her email because I was able to come home during the week. She doesn't post too much, but she comments too much. As honestly going to close the email, but it caught my attention that all the replies were from step-parent subreddit, so curiosity won me over. I know. It's not a good thing to do, and curiosity killed the cat. The first thing I saw was her last post, in which she detailed things about my life in a random Reddit sub, criticizing my decisions and even lying to get people to support her. She has posts on that site talking about how happy she feels when my siblings are not at home. My sister adores her, but she has comments talking about how she can't wait for them to turn 18 and leave the house because she just wants to share the house with her family, my father and her toddler. It seems that she doesn't see us as her family. She has a lot of comments answering other people that it's totally okay to not love your stepchildren because they're not family and it's okay not to consider them one. She has comments talking about how much it bothers her when my dad and brother have sleepovers. They just watch a series in the playroom and then go to sleep, as she is tired of hearing the laughter of a teenager and can't wait until we all leave the house so my father can be with his real family. But what she hates the most is having to learn sign language for my little sister. It had always seemed strange to me that SM still struggles with sign language, but now I know that she never really put in the effort to learn. My sister always said that for many people sign language is very difficult, so I never said anything. But now I know that she always found stupid to learn how to communicate with my sister when my sister always tried to help her. I was too surprised by the hatred she has when my father spends time with me and my sister. Her jealousy towards us is so obvious that it disgusts me that there were so many people who told her how they feel the same way about their SDs. To the point of sexualizing things, is saying too much disgusting things that I don't even want to say here. My siblings are not problem children. They even love her very much, and what fills me with anger the most is that she is so false in front of us. Do you know the number of times I offered to babysit my half-brother so she and my dad can go on a date? All those times she refused to let me take care of him, but now I saw comments that she left about how I am living at my father's house and I don't help her at all, only for other people to respond saying that she should give my father an ultimatum to make me leave because I'm too old to live with him and he has a new family. I cook my food, do my laundry, I help my father pay the bills while she doesn't, and normally only come home on the weekends because I'm doing a police academy almost full week. I don't even care if I'm making too obvious who I am. It was my father who told me to move back with him so that when I come back from the academy on Friday nights it will be a shorter trip. She sexualizes my interactions with my father, saying that it is not normal for me to sleep and nap hugging him and that I should know my place. He is my father. What the hell wrong with her? I'm so disgusted. I have the comments. I have the post. Update 1. Hi, I decided to delete the post because for now I can't tell anyone what happened because I'll basically be locked up in the academy until Friday morning. In fact, I shouldn't even be using my cell phone now. Someone with too much free time shared the situation in that sub of step-parents to warn my SM. I have screenshots of everything, including a video showing that it is her email and showing the comments. If she sees that post, what will she do? Delete the account? I already have the proofs. But I don't want my siblings to find out before I tell them, and I know that those types of posts usually end up in those TikToks that re-upload posts without permission, so I prefer to delete the post so that it doesn't stand out even more. I'll tough my siblings don't use Reddit or that kind of content. I'm going to post again in that sub when I talk about everything with my family, so I hope Redditors know how to keep the secret of the post for now. I know they won't, ha. Being a stepmom is hard. Yes, one thing is feeling that you're having a hard time, and another totally different thing is making a post saying that you hate it when your stepdaughter is around her father because you think she's going to FCK him. TF. It is not the same to say being a step-parent is stressful than to say honestly learning SL is unnecessary. BC when the girl turns 18 I will not see her again. It is a waste of time since she can read lips. Also, some people complained about me hugging my dad. I also take a nap hugging my mother or my siblings. I'm sorry for having a family that loves me and are not perverts who see a hug as something sexual. Probably next week I will be able to maybe give an update. The academy keeps me working almost all day. Oop, I hope that for now it does not appear in my siblings' FIP. Hi. For now I'm going to post this little update here since I haven't spoken to my father yet, but I spoke with my siblings and mom. I told my dad that I was staying at a friend's house when I left the academy, but I actually went to my mom's house and told her everything. She doesn't even know what Reddit is. That site isn't used too much here, but I translated the comments and posts for her. I showed her the videos and my mom was furious. I explained to her that in the comments BM it's Madre Biológica. I was confused about it too the first time I read that, also with SM, so my SM also made comments and posts complaining about my mother being that they have always had a cordial treatment. But still my SM was lying saying that my mother was troublesome. No one in the comments said anything, everyone supported her and they recommended that she should move far away with her legal family, far away from the problematic BM and kids. First we told my brother, who was also upset and said that she was a fake but that he has seen her ignore my sister and pretend that she does not see or hear her a lot of times. He explained that like me it also seems strange to him that SM has not yet learned sign language. My siblings spend a lot of time at my father's house. Just like English or Spanish, sign language is much easier to learn if you live with someone who uses it every day, therefore it is strange that SM doesn't use it. He said that even my father has offered to pay for her classes but she says she doesn't have time. We asked him if he noticed any other behavior of that kind and he said that SM doesn't let him take care of our younger brother, which she also does with me, but curiously she does let our sister take care of him, so I don't understand that. Other than that, she's never treated him badly or anything like that. At the time of telling my sister she was the most hurt. She cried especially because of SM's comments towards me calling me a whore. It's kind of ironic how the comments towards her affected me and the comments towards me affect her. Haha. Something that my sister noticed that I didn't is that almost all of SM's comments are criticizing me, my sister and even my mother, but of my brother she has only criticized sleepovers or when he comes back late from being with his friends. But she has criticized my and my sister clothes, made up things about my life, confessed that she hates it when we hug our father, she said we're too clingy, she talked badly about my mother, etc. My sister said it's sexist and maybe she's got some mental problem. My sister said she always believed SM didn't really hear her and she maybe wasn't speaking well and didn't understood her. I think that's the shittiest thing of all. My sister's greatest pride is being able to pronounce some words no matter how short they are or if they sound like noise for some people. We understand her, but SM made her feel insecure every me she ignored her. I know that my sister always justified that by believing that it was her mistake and that SM made an effort to learn, but it was simply more difficult for her, but now we know that no, she was never interested in learning. I'm getting mad again as I write this, sorry. My mother said she was going to talk to both of them, mainly because even though it's an anonymous site, SM's way of expressing herself is sick and she's not going to let my siblings be around someone like that. Oh, but she's venting. Being a stepmom is lonely. I received comments like that. It's not the same to say I feel lonely and I feel stressed than to say my stepdaughter behaves like a slut just because me and my minor sister uses a bikini for the pool. Her account is old, she's been leaving comments like that for years. With lies, with complaints we never heard before, it's just messed up. We arranged that we're going to tell our father all together and show him everything, so we're probably going to tell him tomorrow because I need to leave to the academy on Monday. My SM account is not deleted. It's crazy how she makes things up to get approval from strangers. At this point I don't even know if she's crazy or a mythomaniac. I would like to go back to her email since the password is saved, but I don't know if she will receive a notification of that because this time I closed the account. Update 2. We talked to my father over the weekend. For now he is staying at my mother's house. It is a complicated situation since in the middle of everything is my half-sibling too. During the weekend I went to my father's house and the first thing I did was tell my stepmom separately that I've seen her Reddit account and I'm going to talk about it with my dad. She told me that I can't condemn her for something she uses as an intimate diary, but I told her that this is not a diary. It is a social network where she makes her problems and lies public. If someone other than me discovered her account, then what was going to happen? Were they going to believe all the things she invented? If her identity was revealed on that account by someone else, I would have too many problems and could even be kicked out of the academy. Again, there's a big difference between saying I'm stressed and my stepdaughters behave like sluts around their father. I simply told her that my mother and sister also know it and would come to talk about it too. She for obvious reasons just went to lock herself in her room not wanting to talk with me. Once we talked to my father I showed him most of the posts and comments. There were so many crazy comments that I think it would take me too long to read them all because they were just so long too. She's that kind of people who comments the bio of their lives and the posts of other people. My father got angry. My SM never expressed having a single problem with us like that. The situation would be different if we knew what she thinks about us. My father went to look for my SM who refused to talk about it and was mostly angry with me for violating her privacy. My father told her that she's insane for thinking that my sister and I sexually provoked him, that he can't believe the way she talks about my sister and the happiness she expresses every time my sister goes to the hospital and is not home, how she expresses to be counting the days until my sibling stops going to the house forever. My father told her that she knew that he is a father and that he would never leave us aside. She made her decision and even so, instead of talking about her problems she decided to create an account to play at being a victim. She said she needs a place to vent, but he told her that venting is not the same as telling lies. Venting is not the same as hating your stepdaughters and talking horrible things about them, and she could have spoken about it and not just lie. They argued a lot, but it didn't get anywhere because she kept defending herself, and my father only told her that it was over. My mother told my father that she is not going to let my sister and brother be around a woman who is clearly mentally unstable because no normal person thinks like that. After arguing too much and even trying to make SM understand that what she did is wrong, she just justified herself all the time. My father went with us and told her that he is going to come back just to see my brother every day, but that he no longer trusts her and never saw that side of her. She lied for so many years. Nothing really went as I expected because I expected her to be more mature. I think I at least hoped that she could apologize, but I think she doesn't even think that what she did is wrong. In her mind everything was totally justified because being a stepmother is difficult, but nothing justifies her being so cruel and poisonous. But yeah, that's what happened. I think it's hurtful to know that someone can hide that much darkness inside. I wasn't too close with her, but I liked her, to the point of sharing my clothes and things with her, so I also feel sad about it, mostly for my dad.